Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, this is Warren Redlick. I've got a topic I want to talk about that's a little different than usual. And thank you, Mark Plott, for being there to moderate the chat. Really appreciate you. Um, Short story. There's this shareholder vote coming up, and I've expressed my opinion before, and you've all heard it. And in expressing my opinion, I brought up the idea that there are some conspiracy theories that are in the back of my head that are not driving my decisions, but I think they're worth thinking about. And conspiracy theory is a fun term when people freak out about it. So there's two major conspiracy theories I'm going to talk about. One is a long-standing, well understood within the OG Tesla community theory that comes from a guy named Jack Rickard, the late Jack Rickard, who advanced this theory. The Now You Know channel advanced this theory. This is years ago. Here's the theory. Imagine you are big oil. Hello, Addison. Yeah, please vote. Please vote. Vote for the board recommendations. You vote. You do your due diligence, but my opinion, you should vote for the board recommendations for Tesla stock. And vote by June 12th. I think in theory you can vote at the meeting on June 13th, but you're probably not going to be there. So please vote by June 12th, and please vote today. So the theory that Jack Rickard advanced is that imagine you're big oil. Imagine you are the Saudis. You are an organization that produces a large amount of oil and makes a lot of money off of oil or fossil fuels in general. And you have a company that is pushing to transition Earth to sustainable energy, to stop using fossil fuels, to convert all vehicles to electric instead of gasoline, so they'll be running off the grid, to convert all power generation to solar, wind, and battery backup. And they've laid out this plan in detail. Here's how we're going to do it. And it looks like a credible plan. And you're sitting there saying, gosh, guys, we make $1 trillion a year selling this crap. And if we can delay that company, if we can delay this transition by just 1 year, we save $1 trillion. If we can delay it 2 years, we can make $2 trillion extra money that we wouldn't have made without delaying the transition. How can we throw a wrench into the plans to transition the world to sustainable energy? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's start talking smack and saying that EVs, let's start getting all the mainstream media to publish that electric vehicles catch fire more than gas vehicles, even though gas vehicles actually catch fires 11 times as often as electric vehicles. Let's make up that electric vehicles can't go very far when a Tesla Model S can actually go farther than a BMW M5 or BMW 7 Series, whatever. The Tesla Model S has about 400 miles of range. The BMW M5 has about 340 miles of range. But let's not talk about that. Let's say that it's really inconvenient to charge when with an electric vehicle you can charge at home, and with a gas vehicle you have to go to a smelly gas station and where you might get robbed. Just keep telling stories. So it doesn't work. It slows it down. But all right, the EV revolution really now looks like it's happening. The Chinese started making a lot of EVs. Tesla's growing. I want to get really dark and say, hey, let's throw a virus at them. Let's create a recession. Let's do some other things. I'm not going to push the conspiracy theory that far. But you see that it's happening. And then you're like, all right, not only are they coming after our vehicles, now they're coming after the whole grid. And who's leading that charge? Very clearly Tesla. How can we throw a wrench in it? And so the theory all along has been, how much would you spend as the big oil? It could be big auto, it could be other interests, but there's a lot of industries that are being upset by what Elon is doing, whether it's Tesla or SpaceX and so on. I guess the brain surgeons might get upset that Neuralink's going to cut into their revenue, right? I'm going a little far there, but how much would you spend if you were making $1 trillion a year on fossil fuels, and you could slow it by a year? Well, you'd spend tens of billions or hundreds of billions of dollars to slow this transition if it means you're going to make an extra trillion. And so you'd buy advertising. You'd fund mainstream media lies. You would get influencers to trash. There's all kinds of things. Now, I'm not saying all of the negative things about electric vehicles are funded by big oil, But it's not unreasonable to think that big oil has influenced some mainstream media to say negative things and some politicians. It's possible, right? So there's a possibility there that something's going on. So that's the one big conspiracy. And now you're looking at the shareholder vote, and people are saying, "Oh, the shareholders will vote for Elon." Like, well, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you might buy up stock. If you're the big oil conspiracy, you might buy up some Tesla stock, and you might vote your shares no, knowing you'll take a loss on the Tesla stock. If you bought $100 billion in Tesla stock and the stock dropped to 20 billion, it would cost you 80 billion. But if it saves you $1 trillion, it's worth doing. I'm not saying this happened. I'm just saying there's a theory there. And then, you could use your influence with the institutional investors. Now, think about it. If you're Vanguard, Vanguard is probably going to vote no on the share. They voted no on the 2018 vote. They're probably going to vote no this time. But if you're an institutional investor and your portfolio, Tesla's 2% of your portfolio, right? You vote no, yeah, all right. That 2% goes to 1%. But maybe you kept big oil up. Maybe you own a lot of big oil stock. You own a lot of big auto stock. Maybe your other stocks go up a little bit or hold on a little longer. So it's not necessarily that big of a loss for the institutional investor that's 2% in Tesla to knock Tesla down 50% by getting Elon out. And if you're being influenced by the mainstream media, and the institutional investors are more influenced by mainstream media, or if you're being directly influenced by big oil telling you, hey, here's what we want you to do. We want you to take this one down. BlackRock, Vanguard, I don't think these guys are innocent. So that's, now again, I want to stress this is a theory. I'm not saying this is happening. I'm just saying, hey, if you were trying to construct a theory about how things could go wrong, this could be a way things go wrong. Maybe they paid off Kogo and Leo to smack talk. Maybe they paid off Earl, right? And it's not just big oil. It could be like the government doesn't like Elon. The Biden administration doesn't like Elon. So we are seeing the New York City pension fund said they're voting against this, and they got their flunkies. I'm guessing California pension fund is going to vote against the shareholder, the compensation package. So if large state pension funds start voting against it, well, isn't there 5% against? Maybe they can tip the scales and get this vote to be a no vote, and that drives Elon out. That's a message to Elon that, hey, we don't want you here. Maybe. I'm just saying it's possible. And would they spend $100 billion if it slows the EV revolution and the energy revolution by a year or two? Well, hell yeah, of course they would. Now, would they do it from an ethical perspective? I'm not saying that they're unethical. Would they think of it? Oh, no. Some random YouTuber thought of it. Jack Rickard thought of it 5 years ago, 10 years ago. He was talking about it for a while. But nobody in big oil watches Tesla influencers, Tesla content creators talking about these things. No, it would never have occurred to them to do that. No, sorry, I'm sorry if it would never occur to big tobacco to lie about the effects of tobacco on the lungs. They wouldn't do that, right? So that's theory number one. Theory number two is a little darker, deeper, especially if you're a Tesla nerd. I'm going to say Elon sees all this coming. I'm going to say Elon plays 4D chess. The rest of us are playing tic-tac-toe, and Elon is playing 4D chess. And a lot of us have thought that about Elon for a long time. So, if Elon is playing 4D chess, and he sees that big oil's coming for him, and by the way, this theory is not good for shareholders today. Just to warn you ahead of time. And Elon says, I've never really liked Tesla being a public company. I wonder if I could take Tesla private. How could I pull that off? Well, if big oil and the Biden administration's flunkies, the Democratic, activists, whatever, if a whole bunch of them effectively influence the shareholders to vote no, and Elon gets a no vote, that's a no confidence vote. I've said before, I think Elon leaves on a no vote. It's the shareholder saying, we don't want you as CEO. I think that's a completely reasonable interpretation of a no vote. We don't support you. We don't support your agenda. We don't support your mission. We think you're not doing a good job as CEO. That's what a no vote means. If you think a no vote means something else, I don't know what you think it means. And there's lots of people twisting around saying, well, they should give him a different compensation package. Well, this is the compensation package he was promised 6 years ago. And if you're going to go back on a promise, And why am I going to work for you? Right? Oh, you want to give me less than what you promised me 6 years ago? I don't know. So, I'm not saying Elon is mad. I'm just saying Elon says, hey, this is a good chance for me to execute my 4D chess strategy. And what's the 4D chess strategy? All right. Elon says, I'm leaving. Very natural consequence of Elon leaving. The uncertainty that's created is that the AI engineers leave. The AI engineers are particularly likely to leave Tesla under this circumstance. I'm not saying them battery engineers, manufacturing engineers leave. I'm saying that the AI engineers are likely to leave. Other engineers might leave, but the AI engineers are in incredibly high demand. They're probably already getting offered more money than they're getting paid by Tesla. They're staying in with Tesla because they believe in the mission, they believe in the leader, and they believe that the share price will go up and they will make money on their options in that future. But once a couple AI engineers leave, like you start seeing like the best talent starts leaving, then the rest of them are going to leave. Because there's some people say, well, they'll want to finish FSD, they're so close. Well, they might like to finish FSD, they're so close, but there's this other opportunity over here that's paying 50% more money. And there's a really critical point here is there's this massive uncertainty. If Elon is kicked out, if Elon is voted, they get a no vote, Elon leaves, who's the next CEO? What's the mission in the future? A friend of mine I was just talking to yesterday said, well, Herbert Diess would be a great CEO. Is Herbert Diess going to pursue FSD and robots as the mission for Tesla? Is he the right CEO for that? I don't think, even if he's a good guy, I don't think he's the right CEO for that mission. I don't know who is the right, I know who the right CEO is for that mission. The right CEO for that mission is Elon Musk. I don't know who else is the right CEO for that mission. I don't know if we can get him. So, and whatever you think about my theory, like if you're an AI engineer and you see this uncertainty, and now you've got OpenAI, Google, Meta, others who are clearly committed to an AI future, clearly committed to supporting AI engineers, clearly committed to chasing really interesting missions. It could be XAI too. Offering you more money or offering you startup opportunities to get even more equity in some really cool startup. Maybe you jump. And then Tesla's unable to complete FSD and robotaxi. And it's not just me. If you, I didn't save the image. If you look at the video that Tesla published, Tesla published a video that was created by employees. Elon had nothing to do with it. Towards the end of the video, there's a screen, text only, saying this vote, if there's a no vote, would mean would directly threaten. I'm not getting the wording right, but it basically would threaten the present and future value creation that Tesla represents. Not the future, not just Robotech, not just Optimus, the present and future value creation that Tesla represents. People are like, oh, Warren's crazy. Elon's not going to leave. The company's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Well, the Tesla team doesn't think so. The Tesla team thinks that the present and future value creation is at risk. Okay? So Elon leaves. This is the 4D chess conspiracy theory. Elon leaves, stock collapses. Stock falls 50% on Elon announcing he's leaving. So let's say you're at $180 a share, stock's at $90 a share. Within about a month, the AI team leaves. Media loves it. Media runs with it. Tesla's, collapsing. Stock falls to $50 a share, $40 a share. And my view is without Elon, without the AI team, the long run value of Tesla is around $100 billion if we're lucky. And that's around $30, $40 a share. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. So the stock falls to, let's say, $30, $40 a share. And Elon puts together a team of investors, just like he just raised $6 billion in funding for XAI. He puts together Sequoia Capital. He gets Chamath on board. He gets Sachs on board. Elon doesn't have trouble getting people to come up with capital. Maybe he sells a little bit of his SpaceX stock, temporarily. And they swoop in and they buy Tesla at $60 a share, right? They're paying 50% over current market price. The new board, whatever's left of it, the new board says, hey, we're getting 50% over current share price. Let's take it. And Elon acquires Tesla, takes it private at $60 a share. If you are holding today at $180 a share, you just lost 2/3. That's a dark scenario. So, those are two major conspiracy theories. We've got a chat going here, and I would say that there's deep state conspiracy theories. That the deep state that I did a space on this like 12 hours ago, maybe it was more than 12 hours ago. I did a space on X on this, and there was uh, a lot of other conspiracy theories that came up. But there's a whole question about the deep state and what does the deep state want. So, I'm not saying these are. I wish I'm clear. I'm not saying any of this is likely. This is the small, 1% theory, right? My 20% theory is just the shareholders vote no when Elon leaves. And I sold 20% of my stock to take account for that 20% risk. So Drew Baglino for Tesla board. I don't think Drew's going to serve on Tesla's board. I think Drew's out. Drew's going to go do something else. Ashok would make a great CEO for an AI and robotics future, but I don't think the next board's going to choose Ashok. This is the two men leave Tesla, Elon stays. I don't know who you think is leaving. The majority of people want to no vote and want Elon to leave, and that happens, then shouldn't the stock go up because more people are getting what they want? Not talking long term. If I'm not talking about the short term impact. I mean, I believe that if Elon leaves, I'm selling. I'm out. If Elon leaves, I'm selling everything. That's it. And I think there's a lot of people like me. They're selling everything. The dream is dead. If you want to hold on to the dream, go ahead. I'll sell it 150. You sell it, 50 or 60. You take your pick. I'm telling you right now, Elon leaves, I'm out. I'm selling all my stock that minute. And I think a lot of people are selling their stock that minute. And sure, Earl and Fred were going to buy like all the shares that I'm selling. Ridiculous. The problem with your theory is that we believe Elon is critical to Tesla's success, but many people don't think that. Yeah, exactly. No, look, I've been posting videos on this. I just posted a video. If you check my channel, my recent non-live video, there's these two twits from the Hysteria podcast, or what I call the Retardia podcast, talking about Elon isn't anything special, and he doesn't do anything special. Like there's this, basically Elon's dad owned an emerald mine, and somehow he turned that into $200 billion net worth. Well, why didn't all the other rich kids do that? It's not even true, right? But even if you imagine that Elon started off with, $1 million in the bank, he turned it into 200 billion. Lots of people started with $1 million in the bank and didn't turn it into 200 billion. He just did that because he's an evil scammer, or maybe he did valuable things that, he's a really good manager, he's a really good engineer, maybe. And so I posted this video with clips of Jim Keller and Garrett Reisman and Gwynne Shotwell and Peter Thiel talking about how awesome Elon is. So yeah, please follow me on X, WR4NYGov. Thank you, Mark, for mentioning that. So the deep state how beautiful are the women in Taiwan? I haven't been to Taiwan. I'm in Thailand. The women are beautiful everywhere. I never said that Asian women are more beautiful than American women. I think American women are beautiful. It just American women weren't interested in me. Warren refuses to answer why Optimus will stop iterating or what all the GPUs will do if Elon leaves. So let me answer that. Larry the Lobster, thank you for asking that. If the AI team leaves, and robotics engineers are in high demand too, so they're gone too. So who's doing the work? This is the thing that you miss. The hardware is not leaving. Dojo will still be there. The software will still be there. The data will still be there. But the people who know how to do something with it will be gone because they have uncertainty over their future at Tesla and they have certainty somewhere else. They are getting people don't know. AI engineers at Tesla generally get paid less. My understanding is engineers at Tesla and SpaceX get paid less than they get paid at other companies, but the prospect for the future is bright and the mission is amazing. And it's challenging work and they do it for that. So Optimus will stop iterating because the people who are iterating it are gone. The people who are iterating FSD, the people who are iterating real world AI are gone. Like Optimus, great hardware. If you don't have AI to run it, great. And if you're a robotics engineer, there's all these startups now that are building robots. Why would you stay at the company that has an uncertain future when there's companies that have a more certain future? So David Bailey, yeah, I think that Tesla does not solve autonomy or robotaxi or Optimus if Elon leaves because the AI team leaves shortly after Elon leaves. They're gone. Why would they stay? The shareholders just said, we don't approve of the pivot. Tesla is pivoting from a car company to an AI and robotics company. Elon's been very clear about it. The Tesla team loves this pivot. But if the shareholders say no, they're saying we don't want this pivot. And the next CEO comes in, he says, yeah, this AI and robotics thing, we're a car company. Like if a Gary Black clone was made CEO of Tesla, do you think he'd be pursuing AI and robotics? Do you think he would know what to do with it? Do you think he'd be a good leader for that? You guys think there's just like, do people think there's just like this, list of great CEOs for this kind of business that are just waiting out there to jump in? Yeah, Matthias says if the vote goes no, I will sell 100% next day. Yeah, exactly. Will Robotaxi have Grok? I expect that Grok, assuming that Elon stays, Tesla's companies have always partnered and shared. Grok is in X. Why wouldn't Grok be in the cars? Grok will be in the cars before Robotaxi. Grok will be an Optimus. Can Tesla outsource FSD to XAI? I think there's another theory. Let me finish the conspiracy theory. The other theory is instead of Elon coming in and taking Tesla private, the new CEO comes in, and the new CEO is not committed to the mission for AI or is not able to recruit AI engineers in order to pursue the mission of real world AI. And so now he's got all these NVIDIA chips NVIDIA chips lose value fast. They depreciate fast because the next generation of chips comes out, right? And the next generation of chips is more efficient, more powerful, whatever. So those NVIDIA chips are losing value fast. And the Dojo chips are like Dojo, like what are we doing with Dojo? He doesn't even know what to do with Dojo. I got these robots here. We can't do anything with these robots. So Elon comes in and says, hey, listen, your company's now valued at 100 billion. And it's pretty much valued as a car company. These robots, these chips really aren't adding any value to you, and they're losing value fast. I'll pay you 10 billion for all of it. So now the new CEO's got, hey, I got a $10 billion cash pile now. I can use this to invest in building factories. This is great. I can stop wasting money on all this AI stuff that's costing, $10 billion in CapEx a year. I'm getting $10 billion. Now we can really invest in building cars, right? So Elon swoops in, buys up the assets, brings them into XAI, and part of the deal is we'll supply you with Robotaxi for a fee. And the profits from Robotaxi go to XAI rather than Tesla. The lion's share of the profits from Robotaxi go to XAI rather than Tesla. No, so Retiring Ghost says we are witnessing the last Elon public company play. I disagree with that. Starlink will IPO. Starlink will go public. Now, SpaceX will retain probably at least 60% ownership of Starlink, and Elon will retain close to 50% ownership of, say, SpaceX. So he has control of Starlink. I think that, assuming that the vote goes yes, as Tesla grows, parts of Tesla will spin off and be public companies. I think Boring Company will eventually go public. Neuralink will take longer, will go public. A core of SpaceX will not go public because the Mars mission cannot be a public company. Not until we've actually got a colony growing on Mars and we're seeing the revenue stream coming in. What are my thoughts on Chris Norland? I don't know who Chris Norland is. I don't know why people keep asking about him. Would I do a video or debate? Sure. I'd be happy to get Chris Norland to invite me to do a space. I don't even know who he is, but I'll do a space with anybody. So people have asked me about Chris Norland a lot. Let's do a space first. Space on X. Assuming he has a blue check mark. What is preventing Tesla from getting another comp package approved? Is there not only one judge in Delaware? What's preventing Tesla from getting a second comp package? So if the shareholders vote no on this comp package, what's the odds they're going to vote yes on the next one? Like, why would you think they're going to vote yes on the next comp package if they vote no on this one? And why would Elon stay when he hasn't been compensated for 6 years of work? Even if the vote is yes, it still needs to go back to court at more cost to shareholders. Yeah, I think they timed the vote so it will go to the judge right as the judge is already making a decision on the pay for the attorneys who won the lawsuit, the class action lawyers. So I think that's going to the judge around June 15th. So having the vote on June 13th was probably deliberately scheduled so that they get hopefully a positive vote to the judge. And the judge now says, well, you didn't really get anything for the shareholders because the same package just went through. So I'll compensate you for your time, but you're not getting a percentage of what you saved the shareholders because you didn't save the shareholders any money. Larry the Lobster says, if you really believe any of this, sell your remaining 80%. I'm shook hearing this from you. I didn't say this is going to happen. Read the freaking title of the video. Read the thumbnail. This is a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying 95% chance this happens. I'm saying 20% chance the vote goes no. And I sold 20% of my stock. And I probably should have sold more than 20%, but I think 20% is sufficient. Starlink will not be a growth company, just a dividend play. Starlink will be a growth company for years. Starlink is currently has 3 million customers. I think long-term Starlink has 300 million customers. So when it IPOs, they will probably have 20, 30, 50 million customers. but they will be on a path to growing 6x. And Starlink is a massive, massive play. Will Optimus bot go public? I don't think Optimus goes public for a long time. I think Elon's going to want to retain control of Optimus. Now, could it go public in a way where Elon controls more than 50%? Maybe. What do I think about shareholders teaming up? I don't know what that means. Peter Pan says, no way shareholders will say no. Not sure why you sold your holdings. I sold 20% because I think there is a chance that shareholders say no. And I think you got your head up your ass if you think there's a 0% chance. No, you can't sue the judge. How is all this theory any different than the years ago you held stock? Elon could have just died for any reason. Okay, so let's distinguish. If Elon dies, if Elon is abducted by aliens, there's a succession plan in place. We don't know what the succession plan is, but we know there is one. The succession plan is followed, and the next person who comes in as CEO is following the mission, and the shareholders have not rejected the mission. Right? If Elon is voted out, you don't get the succession plan. The mission might change. You get massive uncertainty. That's the difference. And the chance of Elon dying for any reason from an accident, we're talking about very low probabilities here. We're talking about, 1% a year that something happens to Elon versus what I see as a 20% risk right now. Right? And it's a very short window. We're talking June 13th, we get a result. I buy back in on June 14th, or I sell everything on June 14th. There's no suing. The lawsuit's already there. This is the way you don't get to sue again. Based on all the relentless fake media reporting on the daily, this harms the value of Tesla shares. What do you think of the possibility of shareholders getting together to class action? I don't know who class shareholders are suing in a class action. I don't get what that means. Yeah, the appeal. Sorry, what's preventing Tesla from going to appeals? Good question. So Tesla can't file the appeal until the lower court case is complete. The lower court case, I think the last findings will be submitted in mid-June. I think the judge will probably make a decision by the end of July. And then Tesla will have 60 days to file the appeal. They're probably not going to file the next day. It's going to take some time because they have to read the final decision in order to decide exactly what they're appealing. So you probably get the appeal filed in September, and then it takes a year for the court to decide the appeal. And I researched this. I'm not saying it's super reliable research, but it sounds ballpark correct for me. About 15% chance of winning the appeal. You want to hang your hat on a year and a half from now, there's a 15% chance of winning an appeal? I'm not hanging my hat on that. So I just think they might appeal, but if Elon leaves, what does it matter? Is he going to wait 18 months to find out what happens in an appeal when there's a 15% chance of winning? I'm not trying to drive this stock down. First of all, I'm expressive. So I'm a content creator. Okay, I analyze things. Nobody complained. Let me be clear with this. Nobody complained when I said I bought stock. Nobody said it was wrong. Nobody said it was inappropriate. Some people said I was pumping. I've never done a short-term pump. I'm not doing a short-term. I'm not trying to push the stock down short-term. I have an audience, 70-some thousand subscribers here, or 68,000 subscribers here on YouTube, 75,000 followers on X. I have told my audience for years that I've never sold a share. When I sold shares, I felt I had to tell the audience. And I'm not trying to drive down the stock. I'm trying to encourage people to vote. And I'm disclosing reality. Something that I've said for many years, I've got to disclose now with the truth. Gavin Newsom is CEO. No. If Elon leaves, all Tesla's 100,000 employees are screwed. Maybe. You were correct about Project Highland. I was correct about Project Highland. I was partially correct about Project Highland. Elon confirmed it's not Highland. I was incorrect that I thought they would not refresh the Model 3. I think I was correct that refreshing the Model 3 will not generate a lot of new sales. I'm not sure it was worth the money. I don't know what it does to cost of goods sold. If it lowers cost of goods sold, fine. It doesn't look to me like it's having a significant reduction in cost of goods sold. Is it going to? I think it's cooler. I think it's better. I think it's great. But is it going to sell a lot more cars? I don't think so. You are pumping a 500 billion stock. Come on, tell the truth. I don't see how I'm pumping or crapping on. Why do we just sit on our hand? I don't see, hey, Anthony, I don't see that there's an option in the courts for us to do something. That's not how it works. The option is get out and vote, get your friends to vote, make sure, like I just posted on X, somebody emailed me, hey, I was going to be too lazy to vote, but I saw your video and I decided to vote. Tell your friends owns Tesla stock, hey, you better vote. Vote for Elon. If Elon doesn't get his comp plan from the June vote, isn't that technically a boon in the value? It is correct, David, and this is one of the reasons why institutional investors and others might vote no, is because Elon getting his comp package dilutes the existing shareholders. So here's my take. Like Tesla's a $600 billion company, let's say. Elon gets his comp package. It dilutes us maybe 5%. I'm making up a number, but that probably dilutes us about 5%. So instead of owning, let's say you owned 1% of the company, instead of owning $6 billion worth of Tesla stock at $600 billion, now you own, you know, 1% less. So you own 5 point, let's call it $5.9 billion of a $600 billion company instead of 6 billion, 600 billion. Maybe it's 5.8, whatever. But if Elon leaves, well, now you own 6% of a $100 billion company. So you own, a lot less value. 1% of a $600 billion company is $6 billion. 1% of $100 billion is $1 billion. I'd rather own close to $6 billion than $1 billion. This is just me. Would you sell your shares if they're upside down? I don't really pay attention to, I don't pay attention to whether I'm upside down or not. Some of my stock is upside down. Some of my stock is in the money. I base my valuation on what do I think the company is worth and what are the stocks trading at. If I think a company is overvalued, I sell. Overvalued significantly. If I think a company is undervalued significantly, I buy. Taylor Swift needs to buy a Cybertruck. Yeah, Kim Kardashian wasn't enough. Kim Kardashian, Justin Bieber. I can't believe Swifty doesn't have a Cybertruck yet. You really think Elon is going to leave and kill everyone's comp package? I don't understand your question. You really think that the shareholders can vote no and there's no consequence? Yeah, please look at the link in the chat from Mark Potocnik. Vote ir.tesla.com/shareholder/vote. Kim appreciates life, says Elon is not leaving. That's a cope. You can tell yourself whatever you want to tell yourself. And look, I hope he's not leaving. I think there's at least a 50-50 chance he stays on a no vote. But I also think there's a 50-50 chance he leaves on a no vote. And I lean more towards he leaves. What if it's 49.9% yes? It's a close one, right? What if it's 50.1% and it's a yes and he feels like, I don't really have enough shareholder support? I don't know. All Tesla execs are paid in stock. You really think Elon's going to kill Ashok's compensation? Ashok will be fine. Ashok will get paid like $5 or $10 million a year to go work somewhere else. Ashok's going to be just fine. The AI engineers are going to be just fine. All the engineers are going to be fine. They've all got great experience. There's a lot of opportunities for engineers to get jobs somewhere else. Good engineers, right? Tesla only has the best engineers. They're going to find good work. The professional managerial class, they're in trouble, but they're in trouble everywhere. So, yeah, so those are two conspiracy theories that I think are worth comprehending. I could get into the deep state stuff. We had that conversation in the space. I am looking for, if people have other conspiracy theories, please, post them there. Matthias is going to sell his shares if there's a no vote. Use my money to make a new ERP software company. Yeah, I'll invest some and I'll build the pod car. Somebody else is going to deliver a robotaxi. This is the thing. Like people will say, well, the mission's dead if Elon leaves and Tesla doesn't go forward. Like, what about the mission? Elon's all about the mission. Well, I think the mission was to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy, and Tesla has done that. Tesla has accelerated the transition, particularly sustainable transportation, but also energy. Tesla has driven forward electric vehicles. The Chinese are now making large numbers of electric vehicles at very competitive prices. Very good vehicles. I see BYDs and other Chinese electric vehicles in Thailand all the time. They're making good EVs. They're better than gas cars. The world is going to transition to electric vehicles. Tesla makes it happen a little faster, but without Tesla, still happens. And even in the scenario I'm talking about, Tesla's going to continue making electric vehicles. Some other guy will come in. It'll just be a $100 billion company instead of a $600 billion company. And robotaxi takes longer to happen. But the Chinese companies will solve robotaxi. Somebody else is going to solve robotaxi. Maybe that's a few years later. And that does slow the transition, but the transition still happens. So the mission of accelerating the transition to sustainable energy has largely, and by the way, CATL and BYD are both now making megapack class energy storage devices as well. So the energy storage side of the business is going fine. And Tesla really hasn't moved the needle on solar, and others are moving the needle on solar. So all the things that we are looking for in the mission, maybe the mission's already been accomplished and Elon can move on to more important missions. Do I think the stock does nothing if it's announced the comp package is approved, but move to Texas fails? Yeah, I don't expect the move to Texas to pass. I think the move to Texas is going to fail. I don't see Elon as one to sink away, even if he does, because if the move to Texas is a harder vote, because a non-vote counts as a no vote. On Elon's comp package, it's the percentage of shares actually voted. On the move to Texas, it's a percentage of all shares. And lots of European shareholders can't vote, so those are all no votes. Foreign investors, a lot of them having trouble voting. There's a lot of no votes that are baked into the way the system works. Woodstone Bear says, I don't see Elon as one to slink away if he doesn't get a vote his way. He's worried about what happens if he doesn't have control of Tesla. If he leaves Tesla, he basically loses all control. He loses control of the electric vehicle business and the energy storage business. True. But he doesn't lose control of the AI at Tesla because the AI at Tesla leaves. It's gone. No. Tesla silence says Elon is only play. I'm saying Elon is only is always playing 4D chess except for the shareholder vote. No, I'm saying my second conspiracy theory is that he is playing 4D chess on the shareholder vote, and that he finds a way to extract the AI resources out of Tesla after the new CEO comes in and doesn't value them, or he comes in and buys out the company at a $60 share price. That's 4D chess. Sticking around and hoping that the shareholders come around later is not 4D chess. You're playing tic-tac-toe. Elon's playing 4D chess. And I'm not saying I understand the 4D chess. I'm predicting it. My controls are not working for mod. I don't know, Mark. It looks like you just deleted somebody. Let me view deleted message. What is this? So I just hid user Snowflake, Mark. Thank you. Why isn't Dojo Optimus? Oh my God. There was a troll, just so people know that sometimes the chat gets trolled and we have moderators who are there to help patrol the chat and make sure that doesn't happen. And Mark Plott is the lead moderator, I'm going to call him, who's most active at suppressing the trolls. Thank you, Mark. Why isn't Dojo, Optimus, etc. already considered as Tesla product? How will Musk be able to take those with him? Okay, I'm not saying Elon takes them with him when he leaves. What I am saying is that the uncertainty means the AI team leaves, the robotics engineers leave because they all have opportunities to go work elsewhere because these are hot fields. And people are offering them more money already, and they're staying because they believe in the mission, they believe in Elon, and they believe that they're more likely to succeed in getting a, capital appreciation in their options and shares. So, theory number one on the Elon 4D chess is that he swoops back in after the stock falls to $40 a share, buys the company, and takes it private at $60 a share. That's theory number one. Theory number two is the new CEO doesn't value the AI components of Tesla, Dojo, the NVIDIA GPU cluster, the robots, and Elon buys it out for XAI, pays like $10 billion to buy that stuff out of Tesla, and makes a deal where Tesla gets to use robotaxi at a licensing fee, and XAI gets most of the profit. How do I like Thailand? Love Thailand. I like a lot of places. I love Japan. I love America. A lot of places are great. Thailand has poor air quality, but a great quality of life other than that. Very low cost of living. It's weird. Just side note, I saw some publication saying that Bangkok's cost of living was fairly high, and I'm like, not like America high, but relatively high in the world. And I'm like, oh, cost of living here is really low. I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment with a spectacular view, paying. Share the view. That's the view. Spectacular view. I'm paying $600, maybe $620 a month, something like that. For this 2-bedroom condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with a gym in the building and a infinity swimming pool on the 8th floor. Thailand has fantastic healthcare, low cost healthcare, fantastic. My cost of healthcare in Thailand is less than my copays in America. When I go get something done, and I haven't been sick, but when I go get like some blood work done, or I just had a VO2 max test, my cost of getting these things done is less than my cost of a physical therapy copay. I'm not shitting. I was paying $85 for a copay for physical therapy in America, and I just had a VO2 max test and 2 cardiology and a consult with a cardiologist before and after the test, and I paid about $85. It's 3,300 baht. So that's the cost of a physical therapy copay for me in America. So the cost of care here is dramatically lower, and the quality of care is extremely high, and the customer service is way better than America. Hey, it's Anthony. Is coping? Will you stop over on Maui on your next trip back to Florida? I do not expect to stop in Hawaii. No, I don't expect to visit Hawaii anytime in the next 5, 10 years. 10 years, maybe 5 years, probably not. I will probably stop in Tokyo. Tokyo would be my choice of places to stop. I don't know if there's a nonstop to like LA or something, maybe, but I'd rather be in Tokyo than LA. So, um, yeah, I wouldn't say cheap. I wouldn't use the word cheap. Healthcare is inexpensive here. I just had a VO2 max test, which is I'm running on a treadmill, wearing myself out with a technician like setting me up and spending 30 plus minutes with me, 2 consults with a cardiologist before and after, $85. I've gotten blood work done, cheap, everything's cheap. Inexpensive, high quality, inexpensive. Argentina, I'm open to looking at Argentina. Thailand massages equals. I had a Thai massage. Man, that hurt. I'm not an advocate for Thai massage. I'm not. Oil massage maybe, but traditional Thai massage, no, thank you. I just had one. Yeah, no good. Peter Pan says I heard the internet connection is not good there. I'm paying $40 a month. 30. I think I'm paying $30 a month for 500 megabits per second up down fiber. Took 10 days to install. That was the weak part. And the cell phone network's fine. So 5G. I have a 5G cell phone. I still have my regular iPhone. Of course, I have Falcon Heavy on the screen, and I have a Android phone on the Thai network. Doesn't it seem odd timing that Elon is making big moves that are hurting shareholder confidence when he wants them to vote for his comp plan, layoffs, uncertainty, charging 2030 goals, etc.? Well, that would go along with the 4D chess, right? I don't think he's making any moves that are hurting shareholder confidence for shareholders who get it. And everything he's been doing, from my perspective, as an all-in shareholder believes in the mission, everything Elon has been doing has been good. I mean, have they made some mistakes? Sure, but everybody makes mistakes. But the overall strategy, the overall planning, the overall effort, Tesla's been doing great stuff. And the economy's been taking a dump on everybody, not just Tesla. But pivoting to AI, like, are you paying attention to the developments of FSD version 12? Do you not see it coming? Optimus is clearly the best humanoid robot out there and clearly a lead. Jensen Huang of NVIDIA just said Tesla has a huge lead, a big lead in self-driving. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, said that. While Tesla is developing Dojo, right? They're buying a lot of NVIDIA chips, but they're also developing Dojo to get themselves off dependence on NVIDIA. Elon says nice things about NVIDIA, but to have Jensen Huang say that Tesla's leading in self-driving, I don't know who you're paying attention to. How much do you spend per month for all your needs? All right. So my joke, Kim, and this might be offensive, and it's intended as a joke. It is true, but it's intended as a joke. A single man can live in Thailand for $1,000 a month easily. $300 a month for a condo with my condo is $600, but not far from here. I stayed in a building. It's actually visible from my balcony. You can get a $300 a month 1-bedroom condo. There's a big pool, and there's actually a better gym than in my building. It's a little bit further off it's on a secondary transit line, so that's a little bit further out. But $300 a month, you can find a decent condo in Thailand, and that's a new building. An older building, you can get better prices too. So $300 a month for rent, $300 a month for food, easy $300 a month for food. I could easily eat on less than $10 a day. And we had sushi last night. I think we paid 500 baht, this is for 2 people. Sushi. Okay, we had a big plate of marinated salmon, and we had a few extra pieces of sushi, and came with rice and some little seaweed things to wrap up the salmon with and everything. And that was 500 baht, which is $14 for 2. But eat breakfast. I just made eggs and sausage and potatoes and onions. What did that cost? Like $2 for the 2 of us, maybe $3 for the 2 of us. And I skip lunch sometimes, but I can get a bowl of ramen for $5. I can get a roll of ramen. No, $3. I can get a bowl of ramen for $3 at the mall next door. So $10. So $300 a month for rent, $300 a month for food, and that leaves $400 a month for hookers. But hey yo, $400 a month for hookers. Thank you. I'll be here all week. No, seriously, then you're spending money on transportation, and you're spending money on maybe some healthcare, and you're spending money on going out with friends for drinks or whatever. And maybe you decide, all right, I don't want to just eat $10 a day every day. I'm going to spend $20 a day. It's hard. It's honestly, like, for me, it's actually hard to spend $20 on dinner for one person. Like, that's challenging. You can do it, but it's hard. You can get like an all you can eat steak, buffet for like $15. So, and I never do. Did you have to get a different chip in your phone? So no, my an American cell phone works in Thailand. At least T-Mobile does. It's slower, but it works. And then the cost of calls is high. It's like 20 cents a minute. And then the other phone has a different chip. You can swap chips on an iPhone, but my phone is still locked on my old account. Um, I don't think version 12.5 is coming to cars mid-June, Mark. I think that's too early. 12.4 is going to employees. I think it's past alpha testers, is going to some employees. Version 12.5, I think we're probably talking about maybe July or August. I don't think it's coming in mid-June. I think that's overly optimistic. Did I look into renting a farmhouse out in the country? We live a 12-minute walk from my girlfriend's mother. I've looked into renting a 3 or 4 story. I'd like to rent a 4 or 5 story townhouse. Like after this year, I'm here for a year. I think I'm going to rent a 4 or 5 story townhome, and I have a. That's where the pod car business will grow. Um, $300 a month in bar fines. Somebody knows. Somebody knows the system. Bar fines. If you only speak English, can you survive there? Yes, yes. There's lots of foreigners here who speak barely any. Honestly, I don't speak much Thai. I speak a little. I can count. I can, say, "Can I have the check, please?" But my Thai is pretty limited. I'm better than a lot of people here. After 5 months or so, my Thai is a lot better than a lot of people here. There's a section of Thailand which is a little more expensive to live in, where English is very commonly spoken. I mean, still, there's a lot more foreigners. There's areas of Thailand where it's like a Bangkok in particular, where it's like all foreigners. Sukhumvit, it's called Sukhumvit. It's just like all foreigners in Sukhumvit, maybe Siloam. But where I am, it's almost all Thai, and I still get along fine. Doesn't Elon have his Tesla shares as collateral for his Twitter acquisition? I'm not sure that that's true. I don't know the answer, but I don't think it's a problem. If the 2018 comp plan gets approved, do you think Elon's next comp plan will be similar to the 2018 plan? I was thinking a little far ahead. I do think if the comp plan gets approved, then they won't do it right away, but maybe the next shareholder meeting, they will vote in a new compensation plan for the future. That would be my guess. And I think it would be similar pay for performance. Tesla's currently, let's say, a $600 billion company, or at the time, maybe it's an $800 billion company. Elon gets certain amounts of stock based on delivering, let's say, a $2 trillion market cap, a $4 trillion market cap, $6 trillion market cap, and the associated performance standards that go along with it. I think that would be very sensible. I don't need a mental break. I'm doing great. My life is good. I'm wearing this because I'm going to the gym. I go to the gym almost every day. My girlfriend's in the next room. She's working from home today. Um, I'm cooking. I'm eating. I'm learning Thai. My life is great. I don't need a mental break. I'm having fun. I get paid for shit posting on X and talking to you guys here on YouTube. I make enough money to live here. I don't make a lot of money, right? I make, I don't know, $30,000-$40,000 a year as a content creator. It's not a lot of money in America. It's a lot of money here. A lot of, maybe 30,000 a year, let's say. Where am I at exactly? I'm in an area of Bangkok called Bang Su. I'm near the Bang Po MRT station and the Gateway Mall. If that helps you. Between Bang Po and Tao Poon. Yes, there's a place named Poon. I haven't asked if they have Tang. Tao Poon Tang, who knows? If the current EV price war completely erodes the GVM. The GVM? What's the GVM? Will Tesla need to go to market and complete the mission? I don't know what the GVM is. The gross vehicle margin? Tesla's made that. Listen, if Tesla delivers robotaxi, it's over. There's no margin issue at all. Tesla's printing money. How can a moderately wealthy man maximize baby making? Find a good woman. That simple. Is Thai harder to learn than Japanese? It's hard for me to answer whether Thai is harder to learn than Japanese because I already know Japanese and I studied Japanese in university for 2 years, so I had a good base, and I don't have that base for learning Thai. I think the Thai alphabet feels hard, but I haven't learned it yet. The Japanese have 2 alphabets plus. I think reading Japanese is probably harder because you have to learn all the Chinese characters. Speaking, I think Japanese phonetics are simpler than Thai phonetics. Much demand for English teachers in Thailand. I believe there is a significant demand for English teachers in Thailand. I don't think the pay is very good. It's good enough to live on here, but it's not great pay. And I haven't looked for a job because I don't need a job. The court case itself, it has occurred to me, if everything fell to crap, like my content creation collapsed and Tesla stock collapsed. Well, I could probably teach English here. Is it easy for someone from Thailand to come to the United States on a 6-month visa and be employed as a housekeeper or landscaper? I don't know the answer to that question. I think it's easy to go to Mexico and cross the border, unfortunately. I think it's difficult for someone from Thailand to come to the United States, but I don't know much about how that works. I haven't really thought about it. My impression is it's hard for a Thai person to get a US visa. Now, my girlfriend will qualify under the standards as I understand them, but I believe it's hard. Is Thailand a good place to raise a family? Sure. Thailand's a great place to raise a family. Why wouldn't it be a good place to raise a family? Mark Potocnik is correct. In the Philippines, English is much more commonly spoken. Also, Malaysia, English is much more commonly spoken. I would say Malaysia has a higher quality of life. I haven't been to the Philippines. My understanding is that Malaysia has a higher quality of life than the Philippines. I've been to Kuala Lumpur and Penang. I think at least parts of Malaysia have very high quality of life, particularly Kuala Lumpur and Penang. As a Jewish person, I don't think Malaysia is a good country to go to. The Malaysian government is one of the most anti-Israel governments on the planet. I mean, they're more anti-Israel than the Saudi government. They might be more. I don't think they're more anti-Israel than Iran, but they're more anti-Israel than just about any other country. Yeah, jobs pay low here. I mean, I don't know what English teacher jobs pay, but a typical job, like a low-end job in Thailand, might pay less than $500 a month. I think less than $500 a month is a common. It's fairly common for people to make less than $500 a month in their job. They make $500 a month. They pay $80 a month in rent for an apartment with no refrigerator, no air conditioning, and they spend $50, $100 a month commuting, and they spend $100 a month on food, and they have a couple $100 a month left over for hookers, I guess. Yeah, or I mean, honestly, the extra couple $100 a month is they're sending home to their parents to help out the family at wherever they're at. This is Bangkok, like rural Thailand. There's a lot less work. I don't think I would teach English in the Philippines. No, I don't think that makes sense. You're not going to teach English in the Philippines. But my impression is that it may be even easier to find a woman in the Philippines than it is in Thailand, because in the Philippines they speak English. I don't think they necessarily speak English as well as Americans. Some of them do. I don't think English is necessarily everyone's first language, but almost everyone speaks some, and a lot of people speak it well. Where educated people in Thailand don't necessarily speak English well, educated people in Philippines probably all speak English well. Same thing with Malaysia. They all speak English well. Did I find the best BJ bar? So if anybody wants some fun, Google blowjob bar Bangkok. And I've read about them. I haven't gone to one. I'm not into that. That's not my thing. I am not into paying for sex. It's just not my. Never done it. Never will. Not my thing. No happy ending massages. None of it. Nope. Yeah. So all right, we are more than an hour. No, we're about an hour in. Let's get back to. I guess we've exhausted the conspiracy thing, and we're talking about bars in Thailand, the nightlife in Thailand. I want to stress this about Thailand before I wrap this up. That I joke about the hookers. There's the comment about the BJ bars. It does exist. There is an adult. There is a nightlife. I think the walking streets are in Pattaya, not in. I mean, Soy Cowboy is a walking street, but there are areas of it that are concentrated adult, entertainment. So shall we call it? It's a very, very small part of Bangkok and an even smaller part of Thailand. There's certain little locations that have a lot of it, and it's very, very small. And like where in my daily life here, I don't see it at all. Not at all. And even in my daily life, when I go in that general area, I go to a place called Terminal 21, I go to a Sok, Sukhumvit. I'm right near Soy Cowboy, but I don't even notice it. Soy Cowboy is one of the centers of it. Is there a Chabad center near you in Thailand? I think there is. There's a Jewish organization that I was in touch with. I haven't met up with them yet, but I did communicate with somebody, and there is some kind of Jewish operation in Bangkok. Is Krabi a viable place to live, or other resort destinations? Good question. So I've been to Krabi, Krabi, for those who can't read the chat. Krabi is similar to Phuket, Phuket. And I think it is viable to live anywhere in Thailand. I've heard that Koh Samui is expensive. I don't know. Cannabis is legal in Thailand, but I think they may have just made it illegal again. I'm not sure. You'd want to look that up. So My favorite place, if you want a relaxing, see, I don't like the big touristy areas because then they're filled with lots of tourists. We visited Chumpon, Chumphon. I think living on the beach just north of the city would be a really good thing if you want a quiet beach with some tourism, but not much. Relaxing. But Chumpon is not a very exciting city. There's not a lot there. Um, no, there are cannabis shops here in Bangkok and elsewhere in Thailand, but there was some law just passed. I'm not sure what the effect is going to be. It may have an impact on that. Yeah, and I would say like when we went to Krabi, I felt like I use the word assembly line tourism. I think the major tourist areas in Thailand, and not just Thailand but elsewhere, you see assembly line tourism where like everybody gets crammed in somewhere and you go in some crowded thing to some spot and then you're walking in a line with like hundreds of other people to go see something and you go, ooh, ah, oh, that's pretty. And you take a couple of selfies and then you go back in line and you go back to the crowded thing and like it's assembly line tourism. Like I like quiet, there's lots of beautiful beaches in Thailand that don't have that. And Chumpon is high on my list. There's lots of beautiful places you go in Thailand that are not insanely crowded. I don't know anything about Kiss Kiss Bar, so I haven't heard of that one. Um, yeah. I'm not saying I haven't gone to Soy Cowboy. I've been in Soy Cowboy once. My girlfriend and I went into a go-go bar. And honestly, we were in the go-go bar for like one drink. And I was like, wow, my girlfriend's so much better looking than these women. Let's get the hell out of here. Um, and I went once in Pattaya. I visited a friend in Pattaya and we went out to a walking street in a go-go bar. And the girls there were better looking. I will say that. But it's not my thing. No thanks. So, yeah, if you can, I think, and the reason I'm in Bangkok, I mean, I found my girlfriend here, but I think a lot of places in Southeast Asia in particular, and I think this would work with Tokyo as well. If you want to travel in Asia, and also you can reach Europe from here. If you want to travel, America is kind of a tough place to travel from because it's hard to get other places. But if you're in Asia, it's easy. Like if you're in Bangkok, it's easy to get anywhere in Asia. Japan's a short, reasonably like a 5-6 hour flight from Bangkok. Taiwan's a shorter flight. Korea's a shorter flight. You can go to Vietnam, Laos. I've been to Vietnam. I've been to Cambodia. I don't recommend Cambodia, but I've been there. At least Phnom Penh was not that exciting. I've heard bad things about some other parts of Cambodia. Again, your mileage may vary. Malaysia, Singapore, India's a short shot. Wasn't a fan of my experience in India. Great people, great food, but maybe not great quality of life. And then even Europe is not that long of a flight to go some places in Europe. So great place to have a base of operations. And you can, like I said, if you're a single guy, single woman, rent a condo in Bangkok for $300 a month. Use the condo gym. You go swimming in the pool. Some of the pools are cold. Some of the pools are really cold. I don't understand why. They're just really like why it's 95 degrees out. Why is this pool like 70 degrees? And they're not chilling them. I don't understand the physics. Andy says, and I can't believe you sold Tesla stock. I've explained it. Watch the whole video. You watch my previous videos. Look at my posts on X. I've explained why I did what I did. I think I was correct to do so. I was in the pool. Yes, exactly. All right. So does $300 condo have maid service? No, but maid service is really inexpensive. I don't bother with that. But if you wanted maid service, it's not very expensive to have maid service. Yeah, I don't swim in the pool. We have an infinity pool here. I haven't been in it yet. I've been here like over 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. I think I've been here. I think I've been here more than 2 weeks. I haven't been in the pool yet. I've used the gym. FSDD, Warren answering questions. I agree on no vote as a giant middle finger to Elon. I just can't see Elon giving up and abandoning his child. Elon is a fighter and loves chaos. Elon has more than one child, and he had to let one of his real children kind of go, right? I mean, he lost a baby, the first child when he was born, died of SIDS, but he has another child who went trans and hates Elon and doesn't talk to him. Neuralink is going to need Elon's attention. XAI needs Elon's attention. X probably needs less of Elon's attention now, but it needs some. SpaceX is going to need a lot of Elon's attention. He's got a lot of things to focus on. And if he doesn't have control of Tesla, why does he want to stay? Can you buy property in Thailand? You can't in the Philippines. You can buy condos in Thailand. You can't buy landed property. Now, there may be exceptions to that rule. A friend of mine says he bought something in Koh Samui, but in general, you can't buy landed property, but you can buy condos here. I don't think it's a wise thing to do. Like for me, maybe for you it is. For me, it's not a good choice. I think there might be a thing in the Philippines where you can get a visa if you buy property. I forget how that works. Yeah, that's over my head. Tesla better build a bigger SUV by next year, or a big car company's going to sell them. Sell them. I think that there will be a new Model X that will be not larger than the Model X, but larger than Model Y, that will sell in high volume because it'll be low priced. I don't. I mean, they could build an SUV on the Cybertruck platform too, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't know that how much that would cost. I don't know how it would work. It'd be interesting to see a cyber SUV. It seems like a really simple thing to do to make an SUV out of Cybertruck, but we'll see. All right. In effect, it kind of already is a SUV because of the vault, but who knows? All right. So I want to thank everybody so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Please support me here as a YouTube channel member. Please follow me on the X platform, become a subscriber on X. You can support me on the Daily Lie. You can support me on Patreon. You can buy the t-shirts at elonbits.com. I didn't wear one for you today. This is my gym shirt. Cheap gym shirt, but yeah, thanks everybody so much for watching. Thank you, Mark, and I think there was one other moderator in the chat, but I don't see him now. So thank you all for your support, and we will see you all soon. Hey, Mark Malone, nice to see you, Mark. All right, bye everybody.